Can you share how Cultivate SA's mission was developed and how it aligns with the needs of the community?
Cultivate SA's mission was developed because there was a gap for knowledge and information around urban agriculture. There are some amazing gardening and farming initiatives happening in San Antonio, but nothing is coordinated. And so what we wanted to look at is how can we get the information, a one-stop shop. If I'm just moving to San Antonio, or maybe I'm just starting to garden, where do I get the information from? So we created a directory of local farms, of farmers markets, of urban agriculture businesses. And we also use the GSA Community Garden Network map. We write articles about how to do seasonal gardening. We have recipes as well. And we promote different local companies who are doing this work. And so the idea is that this is a free resource to the community that we wanted to provide so that we could be able to stimulate the urban agriculture ecosystem that is bound to thrive in our region.
What long-term impact do you hope to achieve with your organization?
Well, I think sort of piggybacking on the end of that last answer, essentially what I'd like to see cultivate, or sow the seeds of burgeoning urban farmers and gardeners. We need to grow more food in the region, not only from an environmental perspective, but from a health perspective, right? We need to eat healthier. We need to have more access to fresh fruits and vegetables to increase consumption. We need to be more physically active. How do we do that? We encourage people to practice horticulture and agriculture. And then for the environment, can we reduce our carbon footprint by reducing our food miles and increase the nutrient density that is provided in freshly grown organic produce? And I think that's possible, but the knowledge dissemination needs to occur. And that's what Cultivate allows us to do, where we can't be at 1.5 million people's houses, but 1.5 million people can read our magazine. And so this allows us to reach that scale at the million people range where we can start to create systemic change in our community.
What kinds of projects or goals do you focus on, and how does that tie in to volunteer days, master classes, workshops, etc.? Schools?
We mainly focus on seasonal gardening, right? So we have a tips and tricks section. We also focus on community, anything that we're doing out in the community work. We focus on our website, which everything's uploaded there, and including our directory. Currently, we're working on an online farmers market as well, which is going to be revolutionary, hopefully, for people to be able to get their product out into the community more feasibly. Because sitting in a farmer's market for 5 hours a day and making $100 is pretty tough, right? So we're providing the knowledge, we're providing hopefully support for local businesses, and we're also providing an opportunity for people to learn about what's happening in the community, like our volunteer days and like our farmers markets.
What prompted your decision to partner with the Pierce Center, and how has this collaboration helped you achieve your goals and advance your organization's objectives?
Well, to be honest, none of this would be possible without Clemson and the Pierce Center. I was blessed that my sister was working there, and she said, hey, we're looking for a project. Potentially Cultivate could be a project where we could support with design. We can write the articles without too much of an issue, but the more difficult part is the design, right? Making it visually appealing and aesthetically just beautiful for people to go through. And so I truly think the work that they're doing for us on the design side is priceless. If we tried to take it to a corporate marketing company and have them make something like this for us, it could be $10,000 easily, and we just can't afford that. We really have no funding for Cultivate. Nobody pays us to publish this at the moment. We're doing it, again, as a community good and filling that gap. And so the Pierce Center has really allowed us to publish since, I want to say, 2021. I want to say maybe in 2020 we did a fall article just outside of that support. But since the spring of 21, I think we've published close to 8 or 9 magazines, and we're just forever thankful.
You got 2 more, John.
Yeah.
Are there specific projects or outcomes from the Pierce Center partnership that stand out as particularly impactful?
Well, just having a digital magazine is huge. Every time we publish, we just published our fall 2024 magazine. It's a great feeling. We send out that link. We put it in our newsletter. We let everybody and anybody know about that. So the publishing of these Used to be quarterly, now we've backed off to biannually, so or semi-annually. So every 6 months we do a fall and a spring. The other component is the website. The website is up and running. You can go to cultivatesa.com and you can see every single article we've ever written. You can see all the planting guides. You can see the directory, right? Like these are physical, tangible assets that are allowing people to gain that information so they can start their growing journey. Because I remember when I started my growing journey, it's not super easy to find out what to do and how to do. And if you grew in New England and you come to Texas, it's a totally different growing habitat or climate, I guess you could say. In addition to that, what I'm super excited about next is this online farmers market. The idea of people being able to upload their produce, sell their produce, actually came from Clemson, the Clemson Area Food Exchange. So for us to replicate that here in San Antonio, safe San Antonio Food Exchange, is just going to be transformational. There's a couple other models we've seen, like in Austin as well, Yard to Farm Co-op, and we're looking forward to replicating it.